I am Jeff Bakalar, and this is the show where we're going one-on-one with James Gunn, writer, director, producer extraordinaire. James Gunn in the studio today. Round of applause for James Gunn.
Thank you.
We're very excited because your first foray into the world of gaming,
yes,
professionally at least,
yes,
is with the new game from Grasshopper manufacturer, Lollipop Chainsaw,
right,
which is a very big deal. There's a huge cult following behind these types of games from that developer. From guys like Suda51,
Yep.
and now you are getting the chance to work with these guys. How did this happen? How did you get involved in Lollipop Chainsaw?
About 2 years ago, Suda51's a great game developer. He did games like No More Heroes, and he's just a cult game guy. And he came to me along with Warner Brothers, who's putting out this game, and they said, "Hey, we have this idea for a game. We want to see if you're interested." I didn't even know what they meant or what they wanted me to do, so I signed this non-disclosure agreement, all this stuff, and went and saw this little bit of footage of this sexy high school cheerleader chopping up zombies with a chainsaw and having them explode into these gory, glittery rainbow hearts.
Which was fantastic.
I flipped.
Yeah.
I mean, I truly flipped for the footage, and I thought it was so aesthetically interesting.
Right.
I mean, we get compared to other, stories and games and everything since this game has been announced and since the trailers have coming out. But aesthetically, to me, there's never been anything like it. And I was fascinated by it. I said, "Listen, what do you want me to do? I'll do whatever you want me to do." And they said, "We want you to help us to write the story. We've got part of the idea down, but we need it to, be further crafted. And we want you to, come up with the characters and write the characters." And so I did that, and I just became involved. And like I do with most things I become involved with, I'm crazy. I go all the way. So I was basically hired to write the cut scenes and oversee writers to write the rest of the dialogue and stuff like that. But instead, I just did everything myself because I became attached to the characters. I really loved them. And I just wrote the whole thing. And then I went and I hired all the actors to play the different characters in the game. And I directed them in the voiceover sessions. It was my first experience doing that. And it was great. It was a great experience. So I'm happy.
That sounds amazing. So you're obviously very well versed in the world of film and writing for film and directing for film. How does that translate over? Because I would imagine there's a lot of similarities, but at the same time, it's probably sort of a different experience.
Just technically, it's a very different thing. When you write a screenplay, it's a 90 to 120 page thin little screenplay. You have to keep everything contained. Everything is about making sure every single scene leads to the next scene. It's all very constricted. Writing a video game, you write on Excel sheets, or at least we did with this game, and the script is like, this. So it's like this big, huge, just thousands and thousands of lines of dialogue. And, you'll have a scene in which a girl is, the Juliet Starling, our hero, will save a girl from a zombie, or she won't. And so I'll have to write 30 lines of dialogues if she saves the girl and 30 lines of dialogue if she doesn't save the girl. So the girl's either running away or she's complaining that she's dying.
So it's like nothing gets left on the cutting room floor.
Nothing gets left on. And I found that to be a remarkably freeing creative experience because you do, when you're in this industry for a long time, and especially you have the spotlight on you, you get at times sort of wound up, and you maybe overthink things a little. You become perfectionist, and especially with a movie, when you make a movie once every 2 years or every 3 years even, it becomes such a big deal. But with this, it was just like I just had to write and write and write, and I'd sit there and I'd write for 12 hours and just turn it all in, and that's the game.
And
so there was
we'll use everything. We're going to use everything.
You do. Because you have to write so much.
Yeah.